Wee, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie all day. So I'm sitting here and I'm getting ready to review that fast action, really fast action SOG flare knife, which I have to say is really good looking. And the only negative I have with it prior to actually using it is the fact that they still use glass reinforced nylon, or whatever you call it, scales or body work. Is it bad material? No, it holds good texturing. It's extremely lightweight. It's inaffordable. It just feels so cheap. And I don't understand why a company that has so many great products like SOG does, and a few I don't like, and we'll get into it, why they continue to use something that you see in people's comments, or even on their the reviews that they have or people write in. All the bad reviews are, oh, it felt like a cheap $5 gas station knife. And it's true. This thing, while comfortable, feels so cheap. Is it cheap? Like, price-wise, it's actually fantastic. But is it cheap like garbage? No. Does it come with an edge? This is new out of the box. That comes with a spectacular edge. And this is one of their more budgety pieces. But even some of their higher end pieces come with this awful glass reinforced nylon, which is just plastic. It's just like while it's better than a cheap plastic, it feels like a cheap plastic. And it gives you an awful first impression when you put it in your hand. Even the seam, it's not smooth. You can see it all the way through. It's not welded down and polished out. You can run your finger across it. See that? You can hear my finger get caught on the seam, and it's even off center, so it looks goofy. But that's the only thing. This blade, I think, is beautiful. It's like a classic, almost K-bar-y style. It's got this little lip that isn't so hardcore. It's not an ugly harpoon. It's just a little bit of lip, little bit of lift, so you can use your thumb comfortably, or you can use that finger for skinning, and it just gives you that little bit of extra grab onto without being ugly. And that's a huge win right there, because usually when you get an upsweep right here, most companies are going to make it really ugly. They're going to make it too harpoony, and it's just going to be awful. SOG does a great job with that, along with their awesome pocket clips, which I like. There's not much to not like about this knife, except when you put it in your hand and you feel that handle. So I wanted to take the time to go over in my opinion, remember, opinions are like bungholes. Everybody has one. And if you don't, you're just full of shot. But I wanted to give my opinion on their best 3 folding knives and their best 3 fixed blade knives. And I'll also talk about, for me, and I'm going at a complete design aspect. I'm looking at it through a designer's eyes. I'm going to talk about what I think is their worst offerings. So let me pull up we'll go with folding knives first. All right, so the first one I want to talk about, and you see these all the time in like truck stops and stuff like that. It's real novelty, and I'm surprised that SOG still makes it, but I'm assuming they do because they sell like crazy, and that's the key knife. Oh, the awful key knife. Yep, it's true. People still make these. And it's not like I don't get it, like I don't understand. There you go. You have a knife the size of a key that hides in your keychain, so if you ever need to cut something, it's right there. But honestly, if you have the room to wear a key, you have the room to wear a pocket knife. I'd personally rather carry a set of nail clippers that have the little knife on it, because at least it offers something else, right? It would be a twofer instead of a one-fer. With the key knife, you have the little blade, but it's not like you could still use the key as a key. It's got one purpose, and you're spending 15, 16 bucks, whatever it is, on a fake key that has the blade of a nail file. And blade length is 1.5 inches. Overall length open is 4 inches. That means you're holding it like a key. It's this little tiny thing in your hand. I was hoping I had a key near me, but I don't. And that's why I don't have a key knife, because I don't always carry keys, especially nowadays where a lot of people, even your cars come with a key fob. There's no key. Your house, a lot of times people have the little buttons, boop, 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 or some kind of printing or some other way to open a door. Not everybody carries keys anymore, like physical keys. People still do, but not everybody. So to have a keychain or a key knife, it's just one of those disappointing ones. And it is 5CR13 MOV. It's not made to hold up. And for me, next on the list, as far as their 3 worst or least favorable folding knives, is going to be the Fielder. It's like the Dali Fielder, I think it's called. It's a 7CR13 type knife. It's kind of like their version on one of the greatest knives of all time, the Buck 110, except they just got it wrong in the design. This is where you get into more of that harpoon blade, but just the rest of it. The bolsters are kind of ugly. The way the lock sticks out is kind of ugly. The handles are so blah, but that harpoon blade just does not work on this. It doesn't help that, unlike its competitors, it is extremely thin in the grip, which for guys like me with double X hands, that would be so hard to get a comfortable hold onto. But aside from its just unappealing characteristics, the harpoon blade is what really drives me away. A harpoon is designed to go into something and not be able to come back out so simply. That's what a harpoon is. Why it belongs on a tiny little folding knife, I will never know. And for my third least favorite SOG folding knife, this one's kind of odd for me because there are knives in their lineup that I like a lot less, like the cheapy looking like credit card style one, and they have a couple other goofy ones, but those maybe are supposed to look bad. Or this one, God, it drives me crazy because this one, if it didn't have one feature, would probably be one of my top favorites from them, minus a single feature. And you might think, well, you're talking the key knife, you don't like it, but it's a novelty, it's cheap. This one's $130. It's not a novelty, it's not cheap. And what drives me crazy about it is they make another knife that has the same kind of function, done different and way better on a knife that's not as cool or would be as cool. So my third one is the Trident AT. And this knife would be really cool. It's D2. It's got a 3 3/4 inch blade. Big, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's made to be in the hand, it's made to work, it's made to cut. But they purposely gave it a weak point. Let me show you. So if I showed you just this half of the Trident, you'd be like, what are you talking about, D-Bad? That knife is gorgeous. And you'd be right. That is phenomenal. But why? Why have a line cutter like this? And if you'll notice, this is not a blade. That's just a little indenture. How the line cutter works is you fold the knife, and I believe there's a picture showing that. Let's get into it. Look at how great this knife is from there to there. And look, even the pocket clip overhangs into the line cutter, which is kind of goofy. But there you go. That's how you're cutting your line. I don't understand why, when they have better options. Look at this blade, is beautiful, and there's even a picture of it in hand. I don't know where it is, but right there. So you can see how well it fools the hand. That thing is awesome. And in contrast, if you look at it next to the Escape, which is, to me, not a great looking knife, but look how they do the seatbelt cutter. Way at the end, there's no structural integrity by only having a fraction of an inch of steel holding half of the knife together. But look at how perfectly placed that is. I don't understand why they couldn't do that on the Trident. One could easily say that, well, that's because this one's a seatbelt cutter and the other one's a line cutter. Let me tell you something. If it can cut a seatbelt, it can cut a piece of line. And all that is a stationary piece of blade inside of the grip. Perfect. That's all you need. So I really wish that SOG would put that seatbelt cutter style cutter on the Trident, because then that would be one hell of a freaking knife. So now we can switch gears into what I believe is their top 3 folding knife designs. 2 of the 3 I have tested, 1 I have owned, and it is awesome. The Proin XR. I mean, we're talking D2 steel, G10 grips, almost 3.5 inches in the blade, but it's nice and wide. It is one of my favorite folding knives in its segment that I have tested. I think the Proin XR is just awesome, super comfortable, super well built. Let's look at it. This thing holds all the cards. It's what a pocket knife should be. It's sharp, it's stout, it's big, it's tough, it's made of great materials. I freaking love this knife. Every aspect of the design absolutely works as it should, as you'd hope it would. The thing is an absolute freaking beast. And it's not just that, but it's absolutely beautiful. All right, so this next knife, I'll even say automatically it's the Seal XR-TI. I think this knife is phenomenal. When I got to test this one, I thought it was probably one of the most comfortable folding knives I've ever put in my hand. The comfort level was crazy as far as shape, contouring, and overall design. Where they failed was the materials. And it pissed me off because I got the Proin after this, and the Proin had the G10. And I thought if they took the G10 from that Proin and put it on this damn Seal XR-TI, they would have the absolute perfect knife. But again, it's made with those GRN glass reinforced nylon scales, and they just feel absolutely terrible. Not, they could be better. They're terrible. They feel terrible. They're strong. They get the job done. They're grippy. They feel awful. I absolutely am disgusted with the feel in my hand. And if somebody's wearing a thin glove, then bravo to you, because now you're getting all the contouring without that cheap plasticky feel. And I keep saying cheap plasticky. I know it's not plastic, but it's not fun. It's not a good material. Yes, glass reinforced nylon, that's what it's called. So the closed length is 5.3 inches with about a 4-inch blade. It is absolutely freaking awesome, and it would probably be one of those, and it's in Magna Cut. It would probably be one of those most perfect knives if only they used G10 or micarta. But they did not. They took this perfectly balanced, beautiful, well-contoured blade and gave it cheap plastic-feeling grips. Now, you can see all that texturing around the grip, and you might think, ooh, that's pretty aggressive. That seems like it would be very uncomfortable. Oh, contrary. That thing is so wonderful in the hand, aside from feel. I was trying to hit the next one so you can see the 3 colors. That's not what I cared about. I just wanted to show you this. It is freaking beautiful. It's beautiful. It's fast. It's it perfectly done shape-wise. And knowing exactly how it feels in the hand, that might be my number one. That might be not my number one from them. But because I know what it feels like, it can't be. But it's okay. Because what is number one, I have to get to it, is freaking crazy. So this is called the Kiku XR. And I'm going to pull up the one in fat carbon, I think. Let's see. I want to see, because they have different materials for this one. But carbon just looks cool. It feels good. I really, really enjoy carbon handle material. But this one is an absolute stunner. And I'll talk about some of the specs real quick. Hold on. Let's see. I was going to say in a minute, but then I hit something wrong. So I'll just go to the specs first. And we're talking about a little over 3 inches in the blade length, close length of almost 4.5. This one has a handle material of fat carbon fiber. I believe they might do it also in micarta, I think, or G10. The blade steel is CTS XHP. The whole thing is built to be a winner. Built to be a winner. Let me show you. This thing is awesome. If you took the size of either the Pro-In or the Seal and you stuffed it into this thing, then I think this would be a perfect knife as well. It's literally so close. It almost turned the corner. So the carbon, while I'm no purple fan or pink fan, the carbon in the sun especially looks amazing. But this knife is pretty freaking badass. So fixed blades is where we're going to have some controversy here, because there's so many people who just sweat the nuggets that if you say anything bad about this one particular knife, and it's going to be the last of the 3 bad that I talk about, you're not allowed to say, for some of these people, you're not allowed to say anything bad about it. It's like the people who sweat Cold Steel or K-Bar, or the K-Bar USMC in particular. They just, you can't say one thing no matter if you're right or wrong. It doesn't matter. And for me, it's going to be about opinions, so I'm going to be wrong to a lot of people, but it's okay because it's my opinion. Just like this first one. The first one of the ones I don't like is just, as a designer, I can't call it a knife design. It's just a piece of steel they threw an edge on. It's nothing about it is attractive. This is the Bar 15T Tanto bayonet. There's a right way and a wrong way to do a Tanto. It's just like making a Viking knife, like right there. Boom. See, there's some contouring and roundness. It shouldn't just be 3 flat lines. When they did this Tanto bayonet, they went above and beyond on just making it 3 flat lines and then an ugly grip. I mean, the only saving grace on this thing is that they used AUS 8. That's it. They used a good steel. Other than that, for me, and I know a lot of you will disagree, but look at this. It looks like I was looking at a picture of a knife and the picture got cut off at the top before something was supposed to happen. It's missing a whole lot of knife. Like, it just shouldn't be when you see it from the flat sides. I mean, obviously it's got a lug and you think, that's nice. It's got just a plain grip, okay. But when you look at that, and this is what I'm talking about, to me, it just looks like something's missing. It looks incomplete. And as a designer, that drives me crazy. Just don't like this one. So the second one that I think is extremely ugly, just don't like it. And they tried giving it a really cool name for a very uncool knife. It's the Seal Strike. Ooh, golly, this thing is ugly. I'm going to pull up the Seal Strike so you can get a really good look at a very bad look. All right, hold on. For me, this is just as bad as it gets. You have a harpoon tip hate it. But then the harpoon tip lends itself to an increase in size to another decrease, but the decrease goes below the grip at a sharp angle. I mean, can design be any less attractive? Look at the depth you have in here compared to in here, and then instead of rounding the grip into the blade, it's a sharp line down. You cannot have made a less attractive knife if you tried on this one. I think this one, design-wise, misses the mark on every level under the sun. That is just horrible. And now for the one that's going to get all the nutsuckers crying. Oh, you can't talk bad about this knife. Oh, the Seal Pup. Oh my gosh, I hate it. I hate the Seal Pup. I hate the Seal Pup. The double and then to the clip is just so ugly. If somebody told me to design a knife that I think would be funny to design, this would be it. Like, okay, design one as a joke. This would be it. The grip is wider than the blade in most of the blade. I don't understand why. Sharp angle here. You have almost a 90-degree angle where your thumb is supposed to rest or your finger is supposed to rest. Then you have this extra swoop. Why the extra swoop before the clip? I could never understand that on this design. And then this ricasso area comes up to feed into a double bend on an uneven blade. So it really throws the balance off, especially when you see how girthy that rear end is. And they sell them in different handle configurations, obviously, but this one is probably the worst. The Seal Pup is so ugly, I need to stop talking about it and show you some of their beauties. So my top 3 is kind of hard because there's really like 5. Oh, and did I mention they have a Gladius? But there's one, it's kind of like the one with those glass handles that I hate. And they have a fixed blade version of it. And it would be in my top if it wasn't for that. But doesn't matter because they have enough fixed blades that are so awesome that it blows those away. And the first one is going to be the Hidaka FX 3V. Oh my gosh, what a nice knife. We're talking about almost 5-inch cryo quenched 3V steel blade. Rides on micarta because somebody over there thought, hey, why don't we just do it right? And they absolutely nailed this one. This is how you design a blade. This knife is so well designed, it makes other designers jealous that they didn't design it first. This thing is freaking beautiful. Everything about it is done right. The proportions are done right. The angles are done right. It's got a little bit of a finger well, and normally I would prefer, and the one that I didn't add on here does have the guard. This one doesn't. I would prefer a little guard there. However, having that little bit of finger well and the fact that it's micarta is going to lock your hand in there and you'll have no stabbing issues to where you have to worry about running your hand down. But this thing is just freaking awesome. Real quick sneak peek on the Seal FX. I freaking love it. Just hate the grips. This next pick might confuse you. It might throw you off a little bit. You might be thinking, wait a second, but you just said completely different. So while I hate the Seal Pup, they make one that has the double swoops, but somehow they took the ugly double swoop pattern and made it freaking beautiful. It's the Seal Commander FX. This is what happens when you take your ugliest fixed blade, change just a few things, and make it your pretty much one of your best looking fixed blades. This thing is enormously amazing. If I have to point out the design details that changes, first of all, micarta slabs. They're smooth, they're beautiful. I mean, contoured perfectly. You have the guard going into a finger well, into a choil. So you have well, choil, guard. Look at how this goes. It doesn't dip down, dip up to create an even small space. This one goes from the spine, comes up, and then you only really have one swoop. It's an optical illusion with that double swoop pattern because the other one has that double swoop, and then it changes pitch right here before you get to the spine. That's what makes the Seal Pup so ugly. They absolutely fixed that look with this. Everything that I hate about one, I find to love about another. Even that beautiful fuller dug in there is just so well done. But this knife, because of the way this runs into the spine, changes everything. And the way they contour in here, that double dip right there makes it beautiful. It even has a great looking pommel. Everything about this knife just works. So somebody over there said, hey, you know what? We have the design that everybody likes for some reason, but it's ugly. Let's make it better. And they freaking did. And for the final knife of goodness, the Kiku 4-inch fixed blade with the blacked out micarta is amazing. So obviously it has a 4-inch blade because it says so in the name. Obviously it has micarta. It runs on one of my favorite blade steels, S35VN. Everything about this thing just makes it an absolute complete knife. It's super. It has got a very sexy blade shape, just like its cousin, the folding knife, but it has so much more running into it. Look at the thickness of the blade, first of all. The serrations, the way they did it going past that lip just looks freaking awesome. How instead of serrating the blade, they serrated the micarta. Looks freaking, I mean, that's top notch right there. That's top notch. That's top shelf. It is absolutely a stunner. I think this knife would shine in any knife category. It is just freaking awesome. So there you have it. I'm preparing for a SOG interview. Where were you on July 4th? I'm preparing for a SOG review, and it got me thinking about some of the SOGs I've had or tested or just never cared to have. And so there you have it, my top 3, my bottom 3 in folders and fixed blades from SOG. They have so many great pieces. It was hard to exclude a lot of the knives because they really do have a great lineup. So that's it for this one. I am Donnie all day. Till next video.